Hello everyone, it's Barry here. Welcome to my Virgin Kitchen. I hope you are well. Take some pugs, take a swimming pool cake, the amazing retro swimming pool cake that I never ever had as a kid. I always saw them, I was like, oh, I want one. Fuse it together. All right, you've got a pug swimming pool cake. I decided I was gonna make this. A lot of you guys went crazy about that on Twitter, so I've already done a bit of it. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you straight up. I've already baked my cakes because I don't wanna wait for them to cool down. I wanna this is all about the finish, right? And I've also spent 6 hours last night just doing the most simple pug modeling using different color fondant, but I'll come on to that right at the end. If you support me on Patreon, you would have seen a little behind the scenes, but we need to move on, or we need to start. So the chocolate cake recipe I'm using is one that Mrs. Barry used in a previous video. The link can be up here and down below if you haven't seen it. And all I've done is made 2 of those sponges and just letting it cool down. But we're gonna make the buttercream first of all. Buttercream. The first thing is you make sure you got nice room temperature butter. Plonk it into your stand mixer. Yes. And I'm just gonna beat it. Beat it. Next we add in the icing sugar. Alrighty, so in that goes. The cloud. Alright, we beat the hell out of that. It's nice and creamy. So to give it that chocolate vibe, 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder and a tablespoon of milk. This will loosen it up a little bit, make sure all grips together. We're not making too much buttercream today, just enough, because it's just gonna be like a supporting role in this major movie. Don't know what I was doing with the hands. And hey presto, we have got ourselves a proper stonking buttercream right there. Just enough. That really does make one of the nicest tasting buttercreams ever. Next, we'll grab our cooled cakes and it's time to make the pool section. So this is my bottom cake sponge and I'm just gonna put a light frosting just over this. If you wanted to go for like a chocolate orange cake vibe or maybe a mint cake, you could have added extract into the frosting as well as the cake. It's looking good, loving it. Now that is a sponge that I deliberately made a little bit higher so we can get a bit of depth in this. I won't frost the outsides just yet. As I say, we're going to start to work on the pool. So I'm going to cut out a little hole in the middle. We're just going to do a relatively small circle. I'm going to go down like maybe ½ an inch. Just using a spoon to help me pull the sections out. Obviously make the pool as big as you want it to, but for me, I've got one of the pugs in the pool and another pug out of the pool. So I'm not making it so it completely overtakes the cake. But what I will do is use the back of a spoon to just kind of flatten it, sort of define those edges, you know? So that's not looking too bad, but if we put the blue water effect, which we're gonna go for against a chocolate cake like that, it won't stand out. So we're gonna roll some icing over this top part. So folks, this is some icing sugar coating a big old block of royal icing. So, you know, the sort of stuff that you roll out most birthday cakes with, or sometimes marzipan. Yuck. I also got this rolling pin, which is actually really good for icing. It's really sort of smooth and yeah, doesn't get all grainy like the wooden one. But I'm trying to just keep it moving. I've got way too much. I'm just making sure I've got enough, and it's not too thick either. We want it thick, but not, you know, we don't want to completely overtake the cake in icing. Right, that will do. Cake comes back in, just draping that icing over. See, I've got way too much, and I'm not even doing the sides. I'm going to cut those off, but what we want to do is kind of lift it to get the pool area as good as we can, okay? We've got to make it look like a swimming pool. Right, let's cut off some of that excess. What I'm doing is just really tucking that in just to make sure that it's got that nice edge on it, you know? I'm loving that. Right, now to trim off the sides. Bit of a clean down. Just for a little bit of fun and to make it look a teeny bit more like a swimming pool, these are some blue icing squares that I cut out last night, which we're going to stick on top of the white icing. So I'm just gonna, I've got a pastry brush and I'm just brushing the icing with a little bit of water, because if you do that, kind of turns it into a bit of a glue really. It'll grab stuff, and obviously we want it to grab the tiles. So all I'm going to do is take one of my tiles, press it down like so, and then join the next one kind of next to it on a point like that, okay? So it kind of looks a little bit like a swimming pool tile. Hopefully you'll see what I mean by this. All right, I think that looks pretty neat. You know what, Amy? Amy? Hello. It's me. Boston? No, you've got no hope over there. We're making this for you, okay? So we're going to give the side of the cake a very light frosting, okay? Now, for those of you that like cakes, I have got a lady local to me who makes the most incredible cakes. She has her own business, does all different styles. She would absolutely smash this. And she's expressed an interest in coming on and doing video recipes on here, which I really like the idea of. But I also like the idea of getting myself and also Mrs. Barry to maybe sort of do challenges. So she'd challenge us to do something and she can judge it and stuff like that. So it could be really, really fun. Those sorts of stuff's going to happen once the studio is finalised. And I'm just finishing finding a camera person to work with right now. So meeting lots of people, but it'll be really exciting once it's all done. There we go. That'll do nicely. Next up, I'm going to take a Kit Kat bar. I'm going to snap it in two, and hopefully this will give our swimming pool a nice kind of gated community vibe. Just stick that around there. Doing it in twos doesn't make it feel like it is rigid, but it gives you enough flexibility to work around the cake. And there wasn't a massive amount of buttercream on there, but that is actually gripping really nicely. This was the bit I was worrying about earlier, like, oh gosh, what if it's not going to fit? So we're going to put one in like that, and I think I could just snap off the one finger, and it might be able to just wedge in there. Yes. Wow, that was pretty cool. Now, as you guys know, I am not a master baker. I can make a cake taste good. The new book, in fact, has got 50 cakes and bakes recipes in there. Stonking. But in terms of visually, I've always struggled, but I'm happy so far with how this is going. Now, with it being a swimming pool cake, we've got to get that cool swimming pool effect. And I picked up this stuff. This is called clear piping gel. It's like a sweet, edible Vaseline. But everyone online seems to say that this is the best way to get that really cool water effect. So this is what we're going to use, but we're going to dye it a little bit blue. So we'll take a mixing bowl, dollop that in there. It does kind of look like jelly. Jelly could work. I couldn't find a blue jelly. And I also, just people, because they raved about this, again, it's called clear piping gel. I had to get it. Apparently because of the texture of it, it just gives off that constant watery vibe. So here I have some sky blue coloured food colouring gel. Ooh. Oh wow, look at that. Amazing. So all I'm going to do now is create our pool by spooning that mixture into the crevice. Part of me feels like it's going to be best to start in the middle and then work my way out. Yeah. I love it. We'll finish the cake off now with the models that I made last night. They took me absolutely hours, and I would actually love to show you me making them in real time, but there's just not enough light in the kitchen to do that, which is another reason when I have the studio all going and working full steam, I can show you the whole steps. But let me show you them. First off, we've got a little beach ball. I made that out of red and yellow icing. Quite simple. Now, Amy's quite a hungry pug, so I made a little cake, complete with candle. Oh no. Her leg just fell off, but that is Amy, complete with tongue wagging out and a little collar. There's Boston with his tongue wagging out and his little white medallion that he's got, sat in a rubber ring. So I'm going to try and sit him in the pool, but I might need something underneath him, otherwise he could sink. And of course, no pool party is complete without a little banner. I made this out of some bamboo skewers and a bit of card. And cocktail umbrellas. So I'm going to put this on the cake and I'll show you what it looks like. Ladies and gents, I present to you the pug cake. The pug pool party cake. I don't know what we're going to call it, but hey, it's the cake. So we've got the tiles there in the swimming pool area. We've got a little beach ball there. We've got Boston in the water with the life ring on, of course, with his tongue hanging out. And Amy sat there. Her arm did fall off and land in the pool, but hey, eating a cake. Being sensible, hanging out in the shade under the umbrella, which is actually propping her up. I am over the moon with how this has turned out. All right, folks. I don't really want to slice this up, but I'm going to do it anyway because I've always wondered how people slice these sort of cakes up. With a knife through the cake. Oh no. Stay there. Stay for me, baby. Let's just try and do a little slice so the kids can see it later. Oh no. Ah. There we go. Chocolate cake and the pool is kind of someone pulled the plug out on my pool. That is good. What do you think? You're on a rubber ring, look. It's saving you. Huh? Kind of see the resemblance, although he's keeping his tongue in today. What about you? Huh? Yeah, you wanted to go sniff yourself. Ugh. Your breath smells. I need to go wash my hands now. Someone did suggest on Twitter I should have just used the salt and pepper pug pots. You know, these things. That would have probably been a lot easier. But anyway, as I say, I hope you enjoyed this. Maybe we could make a regular Cake of the Week segment with me, Mrs. Barry, and also this expert, and have some fun with that. But I hope you try it. If you do, tag me in your pictures at My Virgin Kitchen. Subscribe for regular recipes and food fun. Don't forget to follow our behind the scenes channel, The Barrys. Oh, also the podcast, every week on a Sunday. Goodbye.